A feature normally found in high-end home theater projection systems, CIH, or constant image height, can make your home theater feel more cinematic. Let's talk about it. I'm Elon Osborne, and this is eCoustically speaking. As you may have noticed, movies and TV shows come in literally all different shapes and sizes. From the 4:3 analog TV standard, also known as a 1.33:1 aspect ratio, all the way out to Cinerama's ludicrously wide 2.77:1 ratio. Today you can find films and video content in many different degrees of widescreen. In the good old days of early cinema and television, pretty much everything adhered to the 4:3 standard, also known as the Academy Aperture aspect ratio. Many classic films were composed and released in theaters in that aspect ratio. But then when movie makers and theater owners saw their customers staying home watching more and more TV, they began the widescreen arms race, with films being released in wider and wider aspect ratios. Widescreen movies were something you just couldn't capture on a TV at home, no matter how large. These days, the norm for TV series production is 16:9 or 1.78:1. which matches the aspect ratio of current HD, 4K, and even 8K TVs. For films, the aspect ratio still varies a bit, with movies released in 1.78:1, 1.85:1, 2.0:1, 2.2:1, and 2.35:1. More recently, TV series makers have chosen to create their TV shows in wide aspect ratios to give them a more cinematic effect. Some examples of this are the Star Wars live-action episodic TV series like Andor on Disney+, or The Rings of Power, the prequel series to The Lord of the Rings on Amazon Prime Video. These shows are presented in a CinemaScope-like 2.39:1 aspect ratio. Because these TV shows and movies are wider than the TVs and projection systems most of us have at home, you will see black letterbox bars at the top and bottom of your TV or projector screen when you watch them. But this doesn't have to be the case. And no, I'm not talking about squishing or stretching or cropping the content to fit your screen, because that's just wrong. I'm talking about something called CIH, or constant image height. A CIH system adjusts the size and shape of your projected image to fit the content that you are watching. By its design, a CIH projection system favors wider content, typically maxing out at 2.35:1 or sometimes 2.4:1 aspect ratio, which would be considered ultra-wide or CinemaScope. When you switch over to 4:3 or 16:9 content, the sides of the screen are not used and are typically masked or covered with light-absorbing material. More on that later. With a CIH projection system, if you're watching Casablanca, your screen will assume a 4:3 aspect ratio. Switch over to Game of Thrones and your screen will adjust to 16:9. Now whip out that 4K Blu-ray of Blade Runner: The Final Cut, and your screen assumes an aspect ratio of 2.4:1. How does this magic happen, you might ask? Well, there are two ways: an anamorphic widescreen lens, along with the necessary video processing, or a motorized lens memory. With an anamorphic lens, you have a separate anamorphic lens module that is mounted in front of your existing projector lens. It stretches an incoming 16:9 signal out to fit the desired screen aspect ratio. I know, I did say no stretching, but this kind of stretching is okay because it is accompanied by a squeezing of the original image to fit that 2.4:1 image into the 16:9 shape of your projector's image engine. It may sound strange, but when properly done with a high-quality anamorphic processor and lens, this type of system works really well. It uses the projector's full native resolution and brightness to create that ultra-wide image on your screen. Anamorphic lens-based CIH systems tend to be expensive because they require purchase of an additional lens and processor for your projection system. In some cases, the anamorphic squeeze function is built into the projector, so the only additional purchase required is the anamorphic lens. There are two options for anamorphic lenses. One type is mounted onto a motorized sled, and the other is permanently mounted in front of the projector's main lens. The motorized anamorphic lens only engages when necessary for content wider than 16:9 and slides out of the way when not needed. The permanently mounted anamorphic lens is always in the projector's path. It relies on the projector or an external scaler to squeeze all content so that the anamorphic lens can then stretch it out to its proper geometry. Although this does sacrifice some resolution on 4x3 and 16:9 content. But with a 4K projector, this loss is not normally problematic. Memories like the corners of my screen? The other way to create variable aspect ratios on a projection screen is called lens memory. With lens memory, a motorized zoom lens built into the projector allows you to zoom in on ultra-wide content to fill an entire 2.35:1 projection screen, and then zoom back out when you switch to 16:9 or 4x3 content. You can store multiple lens memory presets, so you'd have one button for 1.78:1, another for 2.0:1, and another for 2.35:1. Projectors with lens memory are available from Sony, Epson, and JVC, among others. Lens memory-based CIH systems tend to be less expensive than anamorphic systems in that the lens memory feature is built into the projector and requires no additional purchase. But because you are zooming in on the image to fill the screen, you will lose up to 30% of your brightness, aka luminance, as well as some of the perceived detail in the image as the pixels get larger. To compensate for the loss of brightness, you'll want a separate calibration setting on your projector specifically for viewing ultra-widescreen content. Projectors with lens memory typically also have memory presets for color and brightness profiles, so you should only need to hit a couple of buttons on a remote to load both the lens memory and the color/brightness preset. Both of these systems are called CIH, or constant image height, because the height of the image stays constant when viewing movies and shows in any aspect ratio. The system then adjusts the image width in order to fill the largest available area of the screen. 4x3 content uses the center of the screen, 16:9 uses most of the screen width with smaller black bars on the edges, and 2.35 content fills the entire screen from top to bottom and edge to edge. Anamorphic lens widescreen is superior to lens memory in its increased brightness and more detail on 2.35:1 content. But permanently mounted anamorphic lenses can actually rob some detail in 16:9 and 4x3 content by squeezing the image to fit the center portion of the image engine, and honestly, wasting a lot of pixels on the sides in the process. A motorized anamorphic lens avoids this issue but adds the additional time factor of having to slide in and out of place every time you switch aspect ratios. A lens memory-based system is generally less expensive, but it does lead to lower brightness and some loss in detail. On a 4K image, you'd probably be hard-pressed to notice the lower detail, but on 1080p or 720p content, the smaller pixel count will most likely be noticeable. You could say you are trading black bars on the top and the bottom of your screen on CinemaScope content for black bars on the sides of your screen for 16:9 content. But there are solutions for that, which we'll get into shortly. Also, the immersive feeling when you switch your screen over to 2.35:1 makes you feel like you're being transported into a movie theater, just without the sticky floors and the annoying bright phone screens of texting teens. Am I right? If you want to go all in on a CIH system, you'll probably want to mask out or cover up the side parts of your screen that are not used for 4x3, 16:9, or 2.0:1 content. This way you won't get any light bleed on the outer edges of the screen while viewing movies or TV shows that are less wide than 2.35:1. The high-end solution is to get a motorized masking screen. This type of screen transforms itself into the exact screen shape you need for your desired content. It moves a section of absorptive black material called a mask in and out in order to change the visible screen shape to match the content. But I think you can guess that anything that involves motors isn't going to be cheap. Motorized masking screens generally sell for thousands of dollars. If you're decking out a high-end home theater for your mansion in Bel Air, then this might be chump change to you. But for the rest of us, there is a DIY solution that can work pretty well. As a play begins, the curtains slowly open to reveal the stage, telling the audience something special is about to happen. You can do the same thing at home. As a budget DIY solution, you can add a simple set of curtains to your projector screen and open them to the specific size you need for each aspect ratio. For a more elegant solution, you might want to consider installing motorized drapes in front of your projection screen. Several companies sell motorized screen curtains that can be programmed to open at different presets. When your home theater is not in use, the curtains can close all the way, covering the screen from view. When you watch a 16:9 aspect ratio TV show, you can program the curtains to stop right at the edges of the 16:9 image, masking out the unused sides of the screen. And when you switch over to 2.35:1 for a feature film, you can program the curtains to open all the way, revealing that ultra-wide screen in all its glory. So if CIH sounds like something that you might want to get into, it looks like there's a solution for the budget conscious, as well as those with oodles of cash in that secret offshore bank account in the Cayman Islands. The choice is yours. And that about does it for this episode, folks. Yay or nay? Is CIH the coolest thing since Laserdisc, or is it going to be a hard pass? Let us know in the comments below. As always, to keep up on all things home theater, home audio, hi-fi, wearables, gadgets, and tech, be sure to bookmark ecoustics.com to stay in the loop. Until next time.